I am Dr. Neelu Dhi from Acharya Narendra Dev College. I will be teaching you chemical kinetics in this series today. Chemical kinetics is the branch of physical chemistry that is concerned with understanding the rates of chemical reactions. In thermodynamics, we can predict the feasibility of a reaction and can also predict the relative amounts of reactants and products at equilibrium. In addition, we can predict whether changes in the experimental conditions will increase or decrease the amount of a product at equilibrium. However, thermodynamic principles do not provide any information regarding the speed of the given reaction, that is, how much time a given feasible reaction will take for its completion. Chemical kinetics includes the study of the reaction, its dependence on the concentrations of reacting species, and investigations of how experimental conditions influence the speed of a chemical reaction and yield information about the reaction's mechanism and transition states. The graph shows the variation of amount of A and B with the concentration for the reaction A gives B. We can see that the reactant concentration is decreasing with time, whereas the concentration of product is increasing with time. If we have a reaction A gives B, the average rate of disappearance of A, R average, can be written as minus delta Na by delta T, which is equal to minus NaT2 minus NaT1 divided by T2 minus T1. The negative sign appears because A is being consumed during the reaction. The average rate of appearance of B, R average dash, is equal to delta NB by delta T is equal to NBT2 minus NBT1 divided by T2 minus T1. Since 1 mole of A gives 1 mole of B, the decrease in the amount of A will be equal to the increase in the amount of B, and thus we can equate the two R average. R average is equal to R average dash. Rate of a reaction for this reaction A gives B can be written as minus delta Na by delta T is equal to delta Nb by delta T. Instantaneous rate has more practical importance in chemical kinetics than the average rate over a time interval. The instantaneous rate of a reaction is the change in the rate at a particular instant. For a graph, the instantaneous rate of reaction at a specific point is the same as the tangent line slope. R instantaneous mathematically can be written as limit delta T approaches 0 minus delta Na by delta T is equal to minus dNa by dt. In terms of the products, it can be written as limit delta T approaches 0 delta Nb by delta T is equal to dNb by dt. Now, if we have a reaction A gives 2B, here 1 mole of A is disappearing and it produces 2 moles of B. So, we cannot equate the two average rates minus dNa by dt is equal to dNb by dt. Instead, we have to divide the rate of appearance of the react products by the stoichiometric coefficient, that is 2 here. So, minus dNa by dt is equal to 1 by 2 dN by dt, and this can be written as rate of reaction. We can find out a generalized expression for the rate of a reaction. A chemical reaction in general can be represented as 0 is equal to summation I nu I ai, where nu I is positive for products and is negative for reactants. The change in the amount of the reactant or product during the course of the reaction may be represented in terms of the extent of reaction, which is represented as Xi. So, the number of moles of the ith constituent at time t, that is NTAI, is equal to N naught AI plus nu I Xi. N naught AI is the amount of AI at time t is equal to 0 and Xi is the extent of reaction. The units of Xi is that of the amount of substance, that is mole. The rate of change of amount of AI during the course of the reaction can be determined by differentiating the above equation. dNTAI by dt is equal to nu I d Xi by dt. So, d Xi by dt is equal to 1 by nu I dNTAI by dt. d Xi by dt is equal to the rate of change of extent of reaction and is known as the rate of a reaction. So, rate of a reaction is defined as the rate of change of extent of reaction and is represented as Xi dot. Hence, Xi dot is equal to d Xi by dt is equal to 1 by nu I dNT AI by dt. If we have a particular reaction, nu 1 A1 plus nu 2 A2 gives nu 3 A3 plus nu 4 A4, the rate of the reaction Xi dot becomes equal to d Xi by dt is equal to minus 1 by nu 1 dN A1 by dt is equal to minus 1 by nu 2 dN A2 by dt is equal to is equal to 1 by nu 3 dN A3 by dt is equal to 1 by nu 4 dN A4 by dt. If we have the reaction N2 plus 3H2 gives 2 ammonia, the rate of the reaction can be written in terms of the rate of disappearance of the reactants, that is nitrogen and hydrogen, and it can also be written in terms of the appearance of the product. So, rate of the reaction can be written as minus dN N2 by dt, or it is equal to minus 1 by 3 dN H2 by dt is equal to 1 by 2 dN NH3 by dt. So, we can see that the rate of a reaction and the rate of change of amount of a reactant or a product are two different things, except when each of the individual stoichiometric coefficients is equal to unity. In other cases, the rate of change of the reactants or products is to be divided by proper stoichiometric coefficients to convert it into rate of reaction. In chemical kinetics, rate of reaction is divided by any specified volume is more useful. If V is independent of the time and we divide by volume, rate becomes equal to Xi dot by V is equal to d Xi by V dt is equal to 1 by nu I d Ni by V dt. If specified volume is such that Ni by V is equal to Ci, where Ci is the concentration of the ith species, then rate R is equal to Xi dot by V is equal to d Xi by V dt is equal to 1 by nu I dCi by dt. So the extent of reaction divided by constant volume xi by V written as x makes the rate of the reaction R equal to dx by dt is equal to 1 by nu I dci by dt. Now we have understood how to write down the differential rates for a particular reaction. Now coming to the rate law. According to the law of mass action, the rate of a reaction is proportional to the product of effective concentration of the reacting species raised to the power which is equal to the stoichiometric number of the substance appearing in the chemical equation. So, if we have a reaction nu1 A1 plus nu2 A2 gives nu3 A3 plus nu4 A4, the rate for this reaction according to the law of mass action will be proportional to A1 to the power nu1 into A2 to the power nu2, or rate is equal to K into A1 to the power nu1 A2 to the power nu2, where K is the constant of proportionality. If the rate of the reaction is divided by volume and is determined experimentally, it is found that the above equation is not applicable. Instead, the equation R is equal to K into A1 to the power A, A2 to the power B satisfies the experimental results, where the dimensionless exponents A, B may or may not be equal to the stoichiometric coefficients nu1 and nu2. The constants A, B may have positive, negative, fractional or zero values. A is known as the order with respect to A, the reactant A. B is the order with respect to the reactant B. A plus B is the overall order of the reaction. The dependence of the reaction rate on concentration helps in proposing the mechanism of a reaction. We can define order of a reaction as the sum of the powers to which the reactant concentrations are raised in the rate law equation, and the molecularity is defined as the number of atoms or molecules that take part in the rate determining step. If we have a reaction A plus 2B gives C plus D, the molecularity of the above reaction will be 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. But the order of this reaction cannot be predicted from the stoichiometry. Order can be determined experimentally. If we have A plus B gives C plus D, the rate for such a reaction will be equal to K into A to the power X, B to the power Y, and order will be equal to X plus Y. The differences between the order and molecularity can be tabulated. Order is the sum of the powers to which the concentrations are raised in the rate law equation, and the molecularity is the number of atoms or molecules that take part in the rate determining step. Order can either be a whole number or a fraction. Molecularity is always a whole number. The order of the reaction is determined by the experimental methods and cannot be predicted from the stoichiometry of balanced reaction equation. The molecularity of the reaction is determined by looking at the reaction mechanism, elementary reaction and its molecularity. Most chemical reactions proceed through a series of elementary reactions. An elementary reaction is one which is proposed as taking place in a single step. These elementary steps are classified according to the number of molecules which they involve. A process in which only one molecule is involved is known as unimolecular process. One involving two molecules is called a bimolecular process. We have already stated that the order of a reaction cannot be predicted from the stoichiometry of the overall reaction. However, the order of the elementary step can be predicted from its molecularity. In fact, the order of an elementary step is always equal to its molecularity. Let us see the unimolecular elementary reaction. If we have an elementary reaction A gives B, in this process a single activated molecule rearranges or decomposes independently of the others. Thus, for the unimolecular reaction, the rate of the reaction will be given by rate is equal to minus dA by dt is equal to K into the concentration of A. Hence, the unimolecular elementary process is necessarily a first order process. Let the elementary process be represented as A plus B gives products. For a molecule of A to react with the molecule of B, the molecule A has to come close to B and collide with it at one and the same time. The rate at which this collision between A and B molecules occur is directly proportional to the concentration of A and B. Thus, the rate of the reaction will be written as rate is equal to K into A into B, which is the expression of the second order process. Hence, a bimolecular elementary process is necessarily a second order process. Till now we have learned how to write down the differential rate equations. Now we are coming to how to find out the integrated rate laws. We can have zero order reaction, first order reaction, second order reaction and so on. So we need to know how to write down the integrated rate laws for these different order reactions. For a zero order reaction, A gives products, and since it is zero order with respect to A, rate is equal to dx by dt is equal to K into concentration of A to the power 0 is equal to K. So, dx by dt becomes equal to K, dx becomes equal to K into dt. On integrating we get x is equal to kt plus c. At t is equal to 0, x is equal to 0, therefore c becomes equal to 0 and we get x is equal to kt. This is the integrated rate law equation for a zero order reaction, and it can also be obtained alternatively for the reaction A gives products by writing the rate as rate is equal to minus 1 by nu 1 dA by dt is equal to K into A to the power 0 is equal to K. That is the reaction proceeds at a constant rate and does not depend on the concentration of A. Let A naught be the concentration of A at time t is equal to 0 and At be the concentration of A at time t is equal to t. Integrating the above equation between the limits A naught to At for time t is equal to 0 to time t is equal to t, we get integral A naught to At dA is equal to minus k nu 1 integral t is equal to 0 to t is equal to t dt. On integration we get At minus A naught is equal to minus nu 1 kt. A naught minus At is equal to nu 1 k into t, and we know At is equal to A naught minus nu 1 x. So, we can substitute the value of At as A naught minus nu 1 x. We get x is equal to kt as the integrated rate equation of a zero order reaction. Units of K are moles per liter per second. So, this was our first series of chemical kinetics. We will be continuing with our chemical kinetics integrated rate equation for a first order reaction in our next series.